Oh boy, we gotta talk about it, man. We gotta talk about it. Hello, one. Hello, all. Welcome back to the channel, man. We talked about this a little bit earlier on with what my predictions were, and I wasn't too far off about what might get nominated. And man, the nominations are out for Game of the Year for the Game Awards happening on December 7th, and safe to say, man, people have been talking. And there's a whole other issue I want to talk about too with just the state of Xbox, man. As an Xbox gamer, I'm just like, ugh. I mean, I have all three, but you know, I feel bad for the people that only have Xbox and the people that were bigging up that specific game. But we'll get into all of that. We'll get into all of that. First and foremost, I want to shout out Cameron Monaghan and Yuri Lowenthal. They're in the same category for best performance, and honestly, if either of them win, I'll be happy. I haven't seen the other performances from the other games, really, so I can't really comment on them too much. But it would be really, really cool if Yuri won for how great he was in Spider-Man 2, and I can't wait for y'all to see the rest of that gameplay. And it would be really awesome for Cameron to win because, man, Cal Kestis, we already talked about Jedi Survivor. And Jedi Survivor, man, I'm shocked that this was one of the only nominations that I got. But I just wanted to first get that out the way and say shout out to Yuri and shout out to Cameron. You guys absolutely killed it in your respective games. And yeah, if either of you take that win home, well deserved. If anybody else does, though, I might have to riot. So yes, the Game of the Year nominees. Alan Wake 2. Have not played it yet. After we finish Spider-Man, I want to bring that to the channel as well. I want to put a gameplay up for that one because I'm really excited for that one. Super Mario Bros. Wonder. I'm gonna be real. The last Mario game I played was the Mario Party Superstars game. Mario not really my type of game. It's cool for a party situation. It's cool for a bunch of people, like Mario Party, Mario Kart. Anything like that, I would be like, yeah, sure, let's do that. Super Smash Bros, all of that. But I like solo games. I like single player stories. I like immersing myself in a universe, which is why I understand the other one, Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. That's nominated for Game of the Year. No surprise there. Everybody knew that was gonna happen. Everybody and their mama knew that. Baldur's Gate 3. Everybody and their mama's been saying that game is amazing. Everybody's been telling me to play it. That's not really my type of game. Everybody loved Skyrim. Happy for you. Everybody loves GTA. My whole thing is just, man, it doesn't seem like it would be my type of thing. It looks amazing. It looks like it was really, really fun, and I'm glad that it's doing what it's doing. Not really for me, though. Resident Evil 4 Remake. Need I say anything else? That game took over when it dropped. If not one of, it was the best remake to come out. And they were able to just do it better in so many other ways. I know some people are very beholden to the original, just like all of the Spider-Man discourse, which Spider-Man was also nominated. Duh. Like I said, I told y'all it was gonna be nominated. Yeah, well, like all of the discourse around Spider-Man 2 in comparison to Spider-Man 1. It's mainly nostalgia. Everybody's just beholden to whatever they had from that first game, and I'm happy that game gave you such a magic moment. But we gotta grow. We can't be stuck in the past with stuff like that, especially when it comes to that damn trilogy. But let's not even get into that. Anyways, that is the lineup: Alan Wake 2, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, Tears of the Kingdom, Baldur's Gate 3, Resident Evil 4, and Spider-Man 2. Out of those picks, I'm biased. I think Spider-Man 2 is going to take it. Spider-Man is nominated for 6 other awards too, so I want a whole sweep. I'm super biased. I don't care. That's my favorite game. I think it deserves to sweep. I think it deserves every single award it's nominated for, and I hope it gets every single award it's nominated for. Like I said, I want Yuri to win his award. I want the direction, design, the graphics, everything it's nominated for. I vote Spider-Man. I say take it home. Do it all. I could definitely see it going to Baldur's Gate though, just because people really like stuff like that. Like when Elden Ring won. Exactly. I would love to see Resident Evil win, just because I loved that game as well. That would be cool. But Tears of the Kingdom could also take it as well. Those would be like my gimme picks for who's taking home Game of the Year. The rest of the awards I'm not really too into, but you know, we could definitely do like a live reaction when the awards happen, just to see like, you know, what actually does win and how we all feel. But yeah, Game of the Year is the main one that I'm concerned with. But like I said, I think Spider-Man's gonna sweep. I think it should sweep. And if it doesn't, I think either Tears of the Kingdom or Baldur's Gate 3 is going to take it. Those would be my unbiased picks. But, you know, if you're asking me personally, Spider-Man 2 all the way. Now, the other issue I wanted to talk about. Hogwarts Legacy, bruh. Snub. Hogwarts Legacy was one of the best games of the year. And I believe it was the best-selling game of the year. Which is crazy to think about when you look at all the games that have come out this year. There were a lot of games that came and went, though. Crime Boss, Rockhaze City, or whatever that was. And, you know, there's hella stuff that came out this year that was supposed to be hits that just weren't. The Dead Space remake was supposed to be something and came and went. Callisto Protocol was supposed to be something and came and went. You know, we had a lot of those this year. There's a lot of great stuff that stuck around, but we had our fair share of stuff that was supposed to be something and just ended up not being that. But I am very shocked that Hogwarts didn't get one nomination for anything. Like that to me is just a little crazy. All the BS aside with J.K. Rowling and all of that extra stuff, the game was absolutely great. And one of the few games to drop this year without any technical issues. I mean, there was that thing with the door, but as far as like gameplay goes and the whole UI, the way that the environment was, all the important stuff about that game, there were no issues. Like I said, besides the whole loading with the doors and all of that stuff, very minute. With other, I mean, you know, Jedi Survivor had the frame rate issues and the game was crashing. And, you know, it was a whole bunch of other stuff that was happening to other games. So I'm kind of shocked that something that was such a smooth release and such a well-made game didn't even get a nomination, not even recognized really at this point. You know, there's a bunch of other games that came out this year that I think are really, really good, but not really deserving of a nom. But if you were to ask me what one game did you think should have been nominated for something, most definitely Hogwarts. I mean, I haven't even beat it yet, but I explore. I like being in the world of stuff. If it's something that I can really immerse myself in, like New York and Spider-Man, Gotham and all the Batman games, the Arkham series, I'll spend a lot of my gaming time just looking around, just exploring the city, just doing that. I love that type of stuff. So yeah, kind of shocked that Hogwarts didn't get a nomination. And then lastly, man, I kind of just want to bring up something that was brought to my attention in regards to all of the Game of the Year stuff and just games in general. This image right here with the 3 consoles and all of their, you know, respective games that got nominated. As you can see, nothing from Xbox. Not one game in the entirety, in the history of the Game Awards. Not one Xbox exclusive has been nominated for Game of the Year. That's wild to me. Like, legit crazy. And Xbox has some heaters. They have some great stuff. I feel like, Sunset Overdrive was one of my favorite Xbox only games. And I know that's, you know, a decade old, but Sunset Overdrive was really fun. A lot of their other stuff was okay though. Like Rise, Son of Rome was okay, and you know, they had a bunch of just stuff that was good but not great. But it's a phenomenal console. Like hardware, if we're just talking about hardware comparisons, the Xbox is actually the best console, in my opinion. Just looking at the stats and what each of them can do, respectively, that win goes to Xbox. But it is very alarming to me that in all of the console life cycles, not one Xbox-only game has gotten a nomination for Game of the Year. And then, you know, all of the hype around a specific game that was supposed to be that game. And I mean, that game is nowhere to be found either. I don't know if they got a nomination. Maybe they got one. Maybe for like design or something. But I don't know. Starfield, man. Starfield. That was supposed to be the home run, the end all be all Xbox game of the life, really. Not only did people think that was gonna get nominated, but they had hyped that game up for so long, and there was so much backing behind it, and just so much that went into it. I think it was in development for like 20 years or something like that. Like, it took a while for this game to get done, and it really does fall into the category of games that just came and went, unfortunately. I have yet to play it, and I've heard good things about it, but I've also just seen that it is not what it was supposed to be. It's not what all of the hype made it out to be. And I hate that. That happens all so often with too many games. And I feel like I don't want to spend, $60, $70 on something that should be, this phenomenal experience and this memorable, life-changing event, and it's just not. And then I'm out $70 and my time. I don't really want that experience, especially for a property that was supposed to be, this lifetime event. It's crazy. I'm still gonna play Starfield. I'll definitely give it a chance, but the fact that this was supposed to be the savior for Xbox, this was supposed to be their dog in the fight, this was supposed to be their claim to the throne, and it was just a swing and a miss. What it seems like, that's just so depressing. Looking at all of the other stuff, Last of Us Part 2, Spider-Man 2, God of War Ragnarok. The only real miss that I saw was Forspoken, probably. But Forspoken didn't get nominated for anything. Forspoken wasn't really hyped up like how Starfield was. But if you're talking about just, game exclusives for this console cycle, I mean, PlayStation is running circles around everybody. Nintendo has their usual bread and butter with Mario, Pokemon, and Zelda. But outside of that, there's a whole meme with how Mortal Kombat looks on PlayStation and Xbox and how it looks on the Switch. It's a whole meme about how, people are going to be playing different games with Hogwarts Legacy when you play it on PlayStation versus when you play it on Nintendo. So it's like, for PlayStation to really only being in competition with itself right now, it's kind of nuts. And it's looking like that's what might be the case here with the Game of the Year nominations, man. You got 2 Nintendo exclusives, Alan Wake 2, which is on PlayStation and Xbox, Baldur's Gate, which I think is on everything except Switch, maybe, Resident Evil 4, which is on everything but the Switch, and Spider-Man 2, which is a PlayStation exclusive. So it's like, where would Starfield fit in that, even if it was nominated? That seems like a whole stacked list right then and there. And I just don't see the impact that Starfield made. All of the games that we mentioned here, even with Alan Wake 2 kind of being a little bit of a sneak, all of the other games made an impact. I mean, did Super Mario make an impact? I mean, it's a Mario game, so the critics and the sales were high for it, so I'll give them that. But when I talk about impact, I really mean like what everything else did. Take Mario out of it, and the statement still rings true. But even with the minimal impact that Mario made, it still made a bigger splash than everything Starfield did in its lifetime. And I know people are still playing it. I know there's still, stuff to do with it. I'm not trying to, bash on the game or anything. This is just my perspective from what I've seen. I still have to give it a shot. I still have to play the game. But from what I've seen and how people have talked about it, it wasn't what it was cracked up to be, which is very unfortunate. So hopefully they can turn it around going forward. I would love to see something pop up for Xbox in the future, because I play all of my DC games on Xbox. I would hate for, all of that to migrate to the PlayStation, because I do all of my Marvel stuff on PlayStation. It only made sense. Wolverine is going to be a PlayStation exclusive, so we'll just have to see, man. We'll have to see. The TGA got people in a frenzy right now, man. So it's only a taste of what's gonna happen when we actually see who wins. So tune in for that, man. We'll get into it when we get into it. It's gonna be a day. Do you think the TGA got it right? Are you happy with the nomination list? Do you have any other games that you would put on this list, or would you just completely do your own thing? You don't agree with any of these picks. You don't like none of these games. What would you do? What would you say? Let me know. That's gonna do it for this one though. I appreciate y'all watching. Like, share, subscribe, the whole nine. You know the bitch, you know what it is. It's Gerrad-OBrien, and I'm out.